Hello everyone, welcome to Tasty City and thank you all so much for stopping by. In today's video, I'll be showing you how to make homemade pizza. This pizza tasted so delicious, so if you'd like to see how I made this, keep watching and please don't forget to click the like button. So let's get started. To begin, we'll start by making the pizza sauce, and I'm going to be making a little bit more than required to store in my fridge because my kids eat pizza a lot, so you can feel free to reduce the amount of tomatoes. So I'm using 6 tomato plums. I've got a handful of basil leaf, 1 medium-sized onion, 1 scotch bonnet pepper, about 1 inch of ginger. I've got 2 garlic cloves, 1 teaspoon of chicken seasoning, half teaspoon of salt to taste, half teaspoon of thyme, half teaspoon of curry powder, half teaspoon of black pepper, and half teaspoon of nutmeg. Here I've got a 1/4 cup of olive oil, and lastly I've got 1 tablespoon of sugar. To begin, I'll start by blending up all these ingredients, so I'm just going to cut everything up and add to the blender. So here I have everything in the blender. I will just go ahead and blend this up until it is nice and smooth. In a clean dry pan, I'll be pouring in the olive oil. And once it heats up, I'll go ahead and pour in our blended tomato mix. I'm going to be frying this on a medium heat for between 25 to 35 minutes. Do not worry about the color of the tomatoes. As it fries, the reddish color will be back. So you want to make sure you keep an eye on this, stirring frequently so it doesn't burn. So the sauce has been frying for like 30 minutes now. I'm just going to go ahead and give it a stir and then add in the spices I introduced earlier. So once that is done, I'm now going to give this a stir and I'll allow to fry for additional 5 to 10 minutes. So now our pizza sauce is ready. I'm just going to set this aside to cool and then we proceed to make the dough. So first we'll start by proofing the yeast because I'm using active yeast. In a small bowl, I'll be adding a 1/4 cup of warm water. To that, I'll be adding 1 tablespoon of active dry yeast. Next, I'm adding 1 tablespoon of sugar. The yeast needs something to feed on to proof, so this step is very important. If you are using active dry yeast, please do not skip this step. So now I'm just going to go ahead and mix this well. Once that step is completed, cover and allow to proof for between 7 to 10 minutes. So the yeast has been proofing for 10 minutes now. We're going to open this up and see if our yeast has activated, and voila! Can you see those bubbles? Can you see those foams? So this indicates that our yeast is alive. In a big enough bowl, I'll add 3 cups of all-purpose flour, I'm just going to go ahead and make a well in the middle. To that, I'll add a pinch of salt. 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Next, I'll pour in the yeast. Oh my goodness, just look at how beautiful it looks. Here with me, I have 1 cup of warm water. I'm just going to go ahead and add that bit by bit and mix until the dough comes together. So once the dough has come together just like this, you are going to transfer the dough to a floured work surface and knead the dough for between 5 to 7 minutes until the dough becomes very elastic. After kneading, transfer the dough to a lightly oiled bowl. The oil will prevent the dough from sticking. So once that process is completed, you want to cover this up and allow to rest in a warm place for between 30 to 40 minutes thereabout. So while the dough is resting, I will introduce you to my toppings, and you can feel free to use any toppings of your choice for this pizza recipe. So here with me is the pizza sauce or the tomato sauce we prepared earlier. I have taken out just a little from it. In here, I've got some chopped smoked bacon, and this will serve as my protein for this recipe. Feel free to use any protein of your choice. Here with me are some sliced mushrooms. If you don't like mushroom, please skip it. I love mushrooms in my pizza. For veggies, I'm using mixed bell peppers. Feel free to use any vegetable of your choice. So here with me are some mozzarella cheese, and without mozzarella cheese, there is no pizza, okay? So whenever you are making pizza, make sure you've got a lot of cheese. Not any other cheese, oh, mozzarella cheese. So our pizza dough has been resting for 40 minutes and it has risen beautifully. Can you see that? So at this point, I'm just going to deflate to take out any trapped in air. So this pizza dough makes 2 16 inches pizza. Once I'm done, I'm going to transfer this to my floured work surface. I'll cut the dough into 2 equal parts and I'll be using half of it for this recipe. So I'm going to be using half, and I'll save the other half for next time, so you can reserve this in your fridge. So here with me is my pizza pan. If you don't have a pizza pan, you can use your oven tray. To that, I'll drizzle 1 teaspoon of olive oil and I'll coat that nicely. The olive oil will prevent the pizza dough from sticking to the pan. Now, once that process is completed, you are going to transfer the pizza dough to the pizza pan, making sure you oil your palms. This will prevent the pizza dough from sticking to your palms, and then flatten it out as shown. So once I'm done with that step, at this point I'm just going to go ahead and pierce the pizza dough or pizza base with fig, and this will ensure that the pizza does not rise in the oven, because I'm going to be pre-baking this for about 10 to 12 minutes before adding the topping, and this will ensure that my pizza crust or pizza base bakes nicely. So I'm gonna be baking this now on a preheated 180 degrees Celsius oven for about 10 to 12 minutes thereabout. So here comes my pre-baked pizza crust. So now we're going to go ahead and add the toppings. So I'll start by adding the tomato sauce we prepared earlier, and I'll spread it out evenly, making sure it doesn't touch the outer part of the pizza crust. So once that process is completed, I will follow that up with some cheese, bacon, mushroom, the mixed bell peppers, and I'll finish up with more cheese. So now we are ready to bake this on our preheated 180 degrees Celsius oven for between 12 to 15 minutes thereabout. So here comes our pizza, and in total I baked for 15 minutes. I'm just going to give this about 2 or 3 minutes to cool down a bit, and then I'll transfer to a plate because I wouldn't want to cut this in my pizza pan to prevent the pizza pan from scratching. This pizza tasted so delicious, and I hope you give it a try. And like I said earlier, you could use any topping of your choice. I hope you liked the video. If you enjoyed watching, be sure to click the like button, subscribe if you are not yet already. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay blessed until I come your way next time with another tasty, delicious, and mouth-watering recipe. Bye for now.